lost all respect for Auburn Preach after this video. You know, it's fair game to criticize people. It's fair game. We're internet people. I'm not going to sue nobody over fair criticisms. But to take a video from 2 years ago to somehow leverage that to make fun of me for crying, tearing up when Charlie Kirk was murdered is insane to me. If I lost followers or something, or something, you know, somebody gave a bad review on my store and I cried about it, I can see somebody trying to leverage that to make fun of me. That's fine. It's fair game. But for you to be so disgusting, to try to make a point, which my original point wasn't even nothing that they're referring to, but to try to make a point to bash a person who had an emotional response to.
What's up, y'all, man? This your boy MAZ. Now, I think that Officer Tatum is missing the point. You know, Auburn Preach criticized him for pretty much saying that he would not cry in front of his wife, even if his child died. That's what Officer Tatum said. But he then goes and finds out that Charlie Kirk has been assassinated, and then he cries on the internet in front of millions of people. That's weird. Let me say that shit again. You said that you won't cry in front of your wife, even if your kid died, but you go cry on the internet in front of millions of people over Charlie Kirk. That makes no sense whatsoever.
To his friend getting assassinated in front of the world. I wasn't just a follower of Charlie. He was a friend of mine. I just seen him not too long before he got killed. Just did an event. We just talked backstage at an event, which I have done Turning Point events since 2018 every year. I have done events with Charlie. I've done events for Charlie. I've worked with Turning Point and been at their headquarters. I used to work with Turning Point directly, meaning that I used to work for them as the urban engagement director. We went to the White House together. I mean,
meaning that the urban section was a Sambo farm. You see, that's what Turning Point does. He take a bunch of black kids in and brainwash them. That's what it is. He just turns it into a goddamn coon farm over there at Turning Point.
They just acquired Blexit, which I'm a co-founder of. Like, and you see your friend get murdered on television with blood gushing out his neck, and you know, I was at his wedding. I know his wife. I could imagine what that does to his kids. And to try to make fun of somebody for that is the lowest that you can go. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com, ladies and gentlemen. Black Friday is here.
I can't with this guy, man. He really knows how to put it on, man. He really knows how to slip into character. Now, when this commercial break goes, after he gets finished selling his t-shirts, he's gonna slip right back into character, y'all. He does all that shaming you. Then he goes to switch to selling t-shirts.
Like Tatum Store. I'm gonna show y'all the video. Look at this pompous behavior by these two. I used to like them, man. I used to like all that stuff. But for clicks and clout, people would just do anything. If one of them had lost somebody that they cared about and they teared up on camera, there's no way in the world I'd be making fun of these guys.
Let me say something real quick, y'all. Especially for black people. You don't owe Officer Tatum no sympathy whatsoever. And I mean that. We don't owe Officer Tatum no kind of sympathy, no kind of compassion just because Charlie Kirk died. Fuck that. Every time a black person got off by the police, Officer Tatum justified that shit. Did he care about the victims' families? No, he didn't. All he cared about was making money and justifying his position in right-wing society. Him and Candace Owens. And Charlie Kirk, we damn sure ain't finna have no compassion or sympathy for him. We got over a damn decade of memes and Charlie Kirk mocking Black Death. So hell no. Now, is it bad that Charlie Kirk died? Is that bad what happened to him? Yes, it is. I don't condone that. But do I have any sympathy or compassion? No. Hell no. I don't have compassion for that bastard. No. Once again, Charlie Kirk mocked Black Death for damn near a decade. Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor. He got big off mocking George Floyd. And I don't get it wrong. I don't think George Floyd no hero, no shit like that. But he did that. Charlie Kirk, he got big off mocking George Floyd. So no, we don't owe Charlie Kirk no damn sympathy or compassion. No, hell no.
But I'll play the clip. They're taking a clip from something I said 2 years ago, and which is not 2 years ago. I believe the same thing today, but something I said a while ago, and they put it together. Or at least somebody else put it together, and they're promoting it. Roll the clip.
I saw this clip going viral, and it did make me chuckle. It involves Officer Tatum and his opinions on men crying. Let me make sure I know exact. 2 years ago about men crying, he said some interesting things. So why don't we just take a look at that together?
I would say that a lot of women are going to lose attraction for you if you cry in front of them. Weak men are viewed as unattractive. And you can make the argument that crying can be viewed as a weakness.
I think that time out. Listen to what he said. That
I actually agree with that statement to an extent, because women do view men crying as a weakness. Now, if you cry if a loved one died, that's something different. But if you're just crying just to be crying, just because you're feeling the type of way, yeah, women will view that as weak. So I actually do agree with that statement.
crying could be. That's what he said. That crying could be a weakness. If you're on a battlefield and your first line of command or a point guy is crying, what you think that's going to do to you? I'll explain my point of perspective here, and then we're going to get to the rest of it. Roll the clip.
Men should not show all of their emotions to women, because women judge men very harshly on that. I would never cry in front of my wife.
Really?
I just wouldn't.
What if your kid died?
That's a different thing. I mean, I would try not to cry in front of my wife.
All right,
if
time
my
out.
kid.
I have never, and my wife has never seen me cry. I've never cried in front of my wife. And that's where I grew up.
So when you cry on that video, right, which got over 4 million views, you think your wife didn't see that? I'm pretty sure she did. So that's pretty much technically you cried in front of your wife. Dude, you're not as strong as you thought you're not as strong as you're trying to portray yourself to be. And that's okay. It's okay. You cared deeply about Charlie Kirk and you cried. It's okay. You don't have to put on this motherfucking tough ass persona for everybody. Dude, you're human. We all have emotions.
You never see me. I never saw my dad cry a day in my life until his father died, till my grandfather died, and my dad was at the funeral. Never seen my dad cry. Never seen my grandmother cry. I saw her cry one time in my life. So this is the perspective that I'm coming from. And then I said, I'll never cry in front of my wife, which I have never cried in front of my wife. The second thing, they brought up my child. I said, that's a different thing. I would not want to cry in front of my wife. I will try not to cry in front of my wife. That's what I said. I didn't say I wouldn't cry if my kid died. Keep rolling.
Be like,
Why would that even come up though? Because I don't have kids, but if I had a kid and my kid died, I'm gonna cry. For the most part, yeah, I'm gonna cry. That's my damn child. Nobody's gonna look at you any different because you cried over your child. If anything, your wife, that's the that's the person you're supposed to be the most vulnerable in front of.
Her foundation, I'm her strong point. I'll cry on my own, but if everything is going south, I want my wife to know I'm strong in that situation. I heard a guy say this, is that when my father passes away, which everybody's parent is going to pass away, I'm not going to cry at his funeral.
You can cry and still be strong. I mean, seriously. And then on top of that, sometimes in situations like that, women can be strong too. I'm pretty sure your wife is not going to look any less at you if you cried just because your damn child died, or hell, even your father. But yet you want to come to the internet and cry in front of millions of people. That makes no sense, guys. That's weird.
I don't want to cry in his funeral. I want my father to know that I'm strong enough to stand up and have this conversation. I've compartmentalized what has happened.
I'm very angry.
All right, pause. So as you listen to it, I said I saw a clip of a guy say that I'm not gonna cry at my dad. I didn't say I wasn't gonna cry at my dad's funeral. I said the guy that I admired had said this, that he's not gonna cry at his dad's funeral. He wants to be the strong person, and I admired him saying that.
At this point, guys, he's just splaining.
This is what I said. I didn't say I wouldn't cry at my dad's funeral, but I admired the guy that said the reasons why he wouldn't cry, because he needs to be strong for his father. And every man, in my personal opinion, would want to have that perspective. That's not saying that if the rubber hit the road,
Right. Because Officer Tatum knows best, y'all. He said every man would want that perspective. How you know that? Here goes Officer Tatum, as usual, thinking that he knows best.
you're not gonna cry at your dad's funeral. And I never said that men don't cry. I just said I'm not gonna do it in front of my wife. I go cry on my own, but when stuff hit the road, I need to be strong for my wife. That's all I said. And then they take the clip of Charlie Kirk. The moment I found out that my friend was dead, that he had died after I saw him get killed on TV. And I thought about his kids and his wife. Roll the clip.
Because you don't get your lick back.
He said you don't get your lick back. As if like what the fuck you gonna do, Officer Tatum? Get your lick back. I mean, what you gonna do? A goddamn drive-by if you find out who did it? Or a goddamn 187? What you gonna do? Ain't nothing you can do. You are a powerless token. You are a buster. You wouldn't do shit. I mean, this is ridiculous.
This is a sickness of the highest order.
For me,
How
you
can
suffer.
hold
I
your
think you
tears?
suffer in silence.
You have to.
That's what I think.
I thought it was
Think about
meme music
this.
at first. I
Hold
didn't
on,
realize.
time out. Think about this. Now, I have cried multiple times because of Charlie's death. The only reason I could have turned the feed off, been like,
Guys, he's trying to make it seem like he's trying to make you sound guilty for laughing because Charlie Kirk died. It's not really why they're laughing. He's trying to shame you because you're calling him out on his hypocrisy. That's what he's really doing. Because Officer Tatum, he's a hypocrite. He's sitting up here talking about this is disgusting and all this shit, but he had no problem justifying other people's death. He had no problem justifying black death by the hands of the police. But he didn't think about those victims' families. No, he didn't. I find it funny. These people now on the right, these are the people that coined the term "fuck your feelings" and feelings over facts, and facts don't care about your feelings. Now that Charlie Kirk is dead and people are bringing up all the old shit that he said, they're overwhelmed with feelings. Let me say that shit again, y'all. These are the people that coined the term "fuck your feelings" and facts don't care about your feelings. Now that people are bringing up shit that Charlie Kirk said and bringing it to light, now everybody's overwhelmed with feelings. How hypocritical.
I'm gonna turn the feed off. The only reason I didn't is because I wanted people to understand the raw emotion of what happened with Charlie and that they weren't alone in that particular situation. That for what people were feeling when Charlie died, they weren't alone. They weren't alone.
So he had to come to the internet just to show people that they weren't alone. I'm going to come to the internet. I'm going to cry just to show you guys that I'm with you. But I ain't going to cry in front of my wife, though. But you're going to cry in front of a bunch of strangers just to comfort them. Makes no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense.
That. And so I just told him, I didn't tell him to cut the feed. But to try to make a joke out of this and to try to act like it's crazy, man. Because one day, one of these guys are going to lose somebody that they care about. And people are going to make fun of them. And to me, it's really nothing to make fun of because
I'm pretty sure they have lost somebody that they care about, Officer Tatum. We all have. And it's going to continue to happen. I mean, Officer Tatum, man. Officer Tatum, he's not very smart, man. I mean, like, a lot of times when Officer Tatum talks, he really doesn't do himself a favor because it's like he shoots himself in the foot.
I don't really give. If I want to do it, I can do it if I want to. And if I said that and I do something different later because I changed my mind, that's on me. But at the end of the day, people need to understand the totality of circumstances.
He said he said he pretty much saying he don't care, he don't give a fuck, but you do because you're making this video. You heard what he just said? He said he don't care. But obviously you do care because you're making this video.
My wife has never seen me cry before. Now, a person can say, oh, she watched your live stream and saw you. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. But I have never cried in front of my wife. And I'm not saying that people won't. It's just saying, what is the compartmentalization of being strong in times of crisis? When Charlie died, that was a small, 15-second experience, but we prayed during the show. I wiped my tears away during the show. I kept broadcasting. Next day I broadcast. Next day I broadcast. All of the things. And I have not shown that level of emotion on any other video I've done. And I think it's nothing, it's nothing wrong with what happened. But Abba and Preach, bro. Out of all the content y'all make, out of all the content somebody made to try to make this viral, is that really is that really a gotcha? Charlie Kirk was a good man and he got murdered. He got assassinated.
I bet the differ on that. Charlie Kirk was not a good man. He was a scumbag. He wasn't a good man. Like I said before, we got over a damn decade of Charlie Kirk mocking Black Death. Breonna Taylor, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, George Floyd. He did that shit year after year. Does that sound like a good person? No, it doesn't. And for people to feel like we supposed to have some kind of compassion for Charlie Kirk or some kind of empathy, this is the man who said he doesn't believe in empathy. This is a made-up word. That's what he said. These were his words. So therefore, we don't owe him that. Guys, you do not owe Officer Tatum any kind of sympathy, any kind of compassion or remorse because he never gave it to us. We owe him the same thing he gave us. But anyway, y'all, this your boy MAZ, man. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe, man. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm out.